So, the big question.
Yes.
What do you think is? I mean, you kind of went into it a bit there, but like, what do you think is fundamental to really great offsite design?
Yeah, so I think it all starts with the why part of it. Why are you actually gathering? And it seems like an obvious question, but a lot of the customers that we ask that question to sort of skirt around it, I've noticed. And for some of them, I think the answer is because we do this every quarter.
That's very interesting, though, isn't it? Because it's easier and possibly less politic to talk about dates, how many people,
Yeah, logistics.
than there
Why
might
are we
be
actually
something
doing
going on here, but
Yeah.
like, let's unpick it.
And quite often, if it's not oh, well, we do it every quarter, and so, this is what we do, in which case I'd be like, great, and what's going on? What would what about this one? What's happened over the last couple of months since your last offsite that means that you could really dig into in this one and focus on? Most of the time, there's some sort of feeling there. You talk to the leaders, and they feel in their gut they need to get their people together. And so there's a certain amount, I think, of almost coaching actually that can be super helpful to try and get people to unpick, well, where does that feeling actually come from? It's like, I digress a little bit, but it's a bit like the leader who really wants to get everyone back into the office. It's actually quite useful to unpick why that is. What are the things that you're seeing that worry you? Where are the data points? Where are the repeated anecdotes? What are the things that are actually worrying you? And is that the best solution to it? Or have we not just sat down and thought about the best solution? I mean, it may be. I'm not making a judgment on it, but it's very much this will solve it, and I think sometimes it's good to dig a little bit deeper. So I think it really starts with that why bit, which I actually think is harder than most people give credit to. And then it's the classics, and we have obviously certain views on this, but that's the environment piece. And there is so much research, scientific research now, about how being in nature affects your biorhythms, your brain chemistry, all that good stuff. It allows you to make different connections. It lowers all those stress hormones in your body, which allows people to be more curious and more open-minded, because some of that kind of fear, if there is any, kind of goes away. So for me, having that sort of level of natural environment, or at the very least a third space that is neutral and not an office and not where someone might ordinarily do stuff, I think is really key. If you want different results, put people in a different environment. I think that's key. The connection piece we talked about, with all of these things, if you're actually bringing people together in person, there's a lot that happens with the energy sort of in a room, and you should really use that to your advantage. So how are we going to connect? Is it by learning something together? That's actually a really nice way to connect. Is it breaking bread together? Is it eating together? That's, another really effective way of doing it. And the last one is, make it memorable. And that doesn't have to cost loads. You can make something memorable by, hiring a massive star to come and sing, right? Of course, that would definitely be memorable. But you can also make it memorable by, maybe giving a little gift to everyone who comes that is, made by someone down the road.
Yeah, or,
just something.
I think there's actually a really interesting relationship between throwing money at a problem where it feels impersonal, if that's the word.
Yeah.
Versus a very cheap thing, which could be that tailored introduction to everyone in the room. If you're like sub 20 people or something, like actually saying, I really like that you're here because of this, or something small about them, but like, and that's there are these little free or very low cost things, which actually is about recognising each person in a way, rather than going big, but it not really hitting the mark and not making people feel acknowledged in a way that's not just easy. And so that's interesting.
Takes a bit more time and thought, right, and maybe a good understanding of your team and what they would find memorable and valuable, rather than just being like, oh, I'll just increase the budget a little bit.